And welcome back, everybody. PC Outcast here. More Everlasting Summer. And it's nighttime. And we just had that awkwardly romantic dance thing with Lena on the pier. And now we're all alone. I walked to the leader's cabin. The whole camp was sleeping, so there was no one to see me. So what? What's wrong with a pioneer taking a walk at night? When I was almost at the door, I heard a noise behind me. Branches of the bush near the trees rustled as if someone moved there. Shouldn't be any wild animals around here. Someone must have been watching me. That very moment I rushed in the direction of the noise, forced myself through the bushes and looked around. It was too dark and I didn't see anything or anyone. There was no point in going on. Even if someone was watching me, must have been gone already. I went back to the cabin. The light inside was on. Looks like she's still awake. Yeah, she's waiting up for you. Wow. Nice evening gown. Evening gown? Is that her evening gown from earlier, or is that her nightgown? Semyon, where have you been? What do you mean, where? Me and Lena have been sorting medical supplies in the infirmary. I told you before that I would do that in the evening. Really? When was that? Took you long enough. I was in the infirmary about half an hour ago. It was closed and the lights were off. Well, we decided to have a little walk. I'm fretting about you while you're out having a walk? Well, sorry. I'll let you know beforehand next time. Please do. Go to bed. It's late. I can't help agreeing with her. It was by any measure a hard day. I was too tired to think about the evening's events, and I doubt I would have any decent thoughts. The main thing is that I have not a single idea how to react to all of this. To Lena, to the camp, to this whole world. I practically haven't spent even a minute on looking for answers. Moreover, I've been avoiding it as if the possible discovery scared me. And Lena. Time I spent with her was much more important than all of my attempts to return to the real world. I could worry myself for a long time trying to understand what I did wrong and what I didn't do at all, but exhaustion overcame me. Day 4. Still staring at his computer. I woke up with a hellish ringing inside my head. The ringing seemed to be coming from the depths of my consciousness. But after I came to my senses, I realized the cause of this ringing was my alarm clock. Strange. Where did it come from? Why is it standing near my bed? It was 7:30 according to the clock. Olga had already left, and there was nobody to force me to go to the lineup. Thus I can sleep a bit more. I closed my eyes, but it seemed like my consciousness had already had its coffee and was ready for a long, productive day. I need to get up. I should plan my day out. After all, I need to at least find out something today. But still, nothing came to my head. Fine, I need to wake up completely and wash myself. On my way to washstands, I met Xenia. What got you up so early? Anything wrong with being up early? She looked at me as if I had insulted her. No, nothing, just curious. None of your business. Gosh, Xenia isn't very sympathetic even when she's in a good mood, but today she just looked furious. Cold water perked me up, the fog in my head dissipated, and my thoughts started arranging themselves. Curiously, I started to worry about finding a good place in the canteen more than about finding answers. Well, yeah, I mean, this place is pretty nice. Your old life sucked. I brushed my teeth and I was going to leave when a quiet sound wafted past my ears. Probably a squirrel or some other animal. I heard another sound, this time a bit further. I walked 10 meters along the path, searching for the source. Nobody, just the morning forest. I returned to washstands and saw Miku, who was looking for something in the grass. Noticing me, she smiled and jumped up to me. Oh, hello. Good morning. I accidentally scattered my tooth powder, just trying to gather it all back up. The dewy grass didn't seem to be helping matters. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, why? What else can I do? I don't have any more. It was the last I had. She pouted like a child who had just had her favorite toy taken from her. Here, I'll give you mine. I dug into my bag. No tooth powder there. Strange. Didn't I just put it there? I walked away for just a minute, and now it's gone. Listen, looks like I have forgotten it. I didn't want to tell her that it had just gone missing. Knowing the sensitivity of this girl, it was safe to assume that vanishing household goods would impress her so much that her brain would reset itself in order to avoid overheating. Oh dear. Well, I'll be off. Yeah, cheers. Visit us. Visit me in the music club. I'm still alone there, but I. Miku's voice faded in the freshness of the summer morning air far behind me. Oh, she's talking and you just walked off? Dude. Getting back to the leader's camp, I took my cell phone and looked at the battery meter. Enough power for a day, maybe even less. Of course, it won't help me much in here, but still. Finding a charger in the 80s would mean inventing it. I was going to head for breakfast when somebody knocked on the door. It was Lena. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. I was taken aback a bit. The events of the previous day were still fresh in my memory, but I didn't really want to speak about them. You're probably looking for Olga, aren't you? Well, no. Yes. Lena was her usual self, shy and easily embarrassed. The dance on the pier, now it seemed no more than a dream. She's not here, I'm sorry. Okay then. I'll go. Okay. When Lena left, I thought that I had been too cold towards her, so I decided to be nicer on our next encounter. Still, regardless, the morning was shining and beautiful. The bright sun was shining over the space, and time displaced pioneer Camp Savionok, warming its residents and filling them with energy to spend the day productively. Or in my case, waste it in futile efforts to find an explanation for everything happening here. There was an unusually large crowd near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen, but why were they all crowding on the porch? Came closer to find out what was going on. It looked like all the camp had gathered at the porch. There were all the familiar girls, Olga, and Electronique. They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Ah, Semyon. Have you seen Shirk today? Nope, what's the matter? We haven't been able to find him since early morning. Disappearing pioneers. Well, that's something new. But he was with you yesterday. He was talking to Electronique. Yes, he was. So he woke up this morning, and he wasn't anywhere to be found. No. Why didn't he come to me immediately? Well, I thought that he got up earlier and went to wash up or something. Did he mention anything yesterday? Interjected Slavia. For example? That he was going somewhere, for instance? Nope. What exactly is so horrifying about that? It's only 9 a.m. He might have decided to go for a walk. You don't know Shirk. Looked over at me seriously. Well, no, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in this situation. Okay, let's stop panicking. We'll find him. How could he miss breakfast? Yolana grinned. Exactly, time to eat away. Eat anyway. The pioneers proceeded into the canteen. Yet again, I had no choice where to fit in. The only free place was at the table with Alisa and Yolana. Apparently that's my place. Take a seat. She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you going to get your food? Good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appetizing. Or maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid yet another Yolana prank. Want to go to the beach with us today? When? Right after breakfast. Boy, they're pretty friendly. Consider I blew both of them off. Generally speaking, relaxation wasn't on my agenda today, but if I was going to spend any time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting a suntan? Sure, why not? Ah, cool. She smiled nicely. I bet you're planning another prank. No, not at all. Yolanda waved her hands at me. She sure is. Alisa grinned. She's always like that. No way. I think she's right. Nobody believes me. Yolanda took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal. Uh-oh. She said it in such a way which left no doubt. Nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Alisa were left alone. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Why is that? Well, I've got something to do. And what exactly would that be? She looked in my eyes and I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a bathing suit. Swimsuit. Try mine. Well, you think it'll fit me? Give it a try. I don't think it's worth the effort. Don't be a wimp. I'll find you some swimming trunks. Those words only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting for her, is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, hurried past me one by one. No one stopped by me. No one even looked in my direction. Seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager their age, their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider this camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the first day. Indeed, Alisa was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Though you hardly could call them trunks. They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Actually, they were boxers. I'm almost afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Too scared to put them on? Well, you know, I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciated her joke, but wasn't going to make myself a laughingstock. Put them on, she said roughly. Why don't you try them on instead of me? I think that color of the swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Let's make a bet. I had no desire to accept her bets. No thanks. Alright, you either go to the beach wearing them, or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. I'm not planning on going anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my cabin. Why would you do that? How should I know? Because I'm an idiot. She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Alisa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and to hopefully find something like trunks. Olga was waiting for me in the room. Semyon, did you hear anything about Shurik? Same as half an hour ago. I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yes, to the beach. Wait, do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Strange, that fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. No. So what will you wear? Good question. What? I don't know. Wait a minute. Walked to the wardrobe and unlocked a drawer. Unlocked? In a moment, she had a pair of normal black trunks. Where did you get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session must have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. Isn't that miraculous? I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I recognized only Alisa and Yolanda. Come here! Walked over to them and sat on the sand. I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked. As you can see. Come on, let's swim. I don't want to. Maybe later. I'm not a fan of swimming. Suit yourself. Not a fan of swimming. He tried to swim for half an hour the other night. The girls ran into the water. Why did I come here? Why am I not out looking for answers? Should I care about it now? Love Yanuk seemed normal. Certainly a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them, taken separately, seemed at all supernatural, especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as a clue. On the contrary, everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I don't get any truth from local residents, though I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? But how far can I walk, considering that I don't even know where I am? Turns out that my only option is to wait. After some time, the girls came back. Yolana held something in her hands. Look! I looked up and saw a crayfish. Just a normal crayfish. Yolana lay next to me and started to torment it. Yolana. All the butts, too. Look at all the butts. Leave the poor animal alone. Why? It's just a crayfish. So what? It has a right to live, too. I'll rip its claws off and ask the cook to boil it for dinner. As if we have nothing else to eat. I looked at Alisa. She seemed to be totally uninterested in Yolana's fun with a poor sea creature. Tell her. What's wrong? It's a crayfish. It deserves it. Looked like the girls missed their lessons on nature in primary school and lacked empathy for the environment. Give it. I snatched the crayfish off Yolana. Do it yourself. I was a little surprised she didn't resist. I looked into the eyes of the poor animal. It didn't express anything at all, but I thought that if it could speak, it would certainly be outraged. Maybe it would even go to the UN Convention of Human Rights. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure that would help. Took the crayfish to the river and set it free. Never mind, I'll catch more. There are plenty of them here, said Yolana. No doubt about it, I mumbled. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. More sleep. I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, if I was dreaming at all, but I woke up when someone shook my shoulder. Nice swimsuit. Olga stood next to me. Do you come to swim too? I asked, half asleep. No. It's almost time for lunch and we still can't find Shirk. The leader said, standing before me in a wet swimsuit. And? I want you to look for him. Seems like I'm the only pioneer in this entire camp. I was sincerely outraged. Every time it was getting clearer that Olga considered me her errand boy. It was to be used like a slave. Or vice versa. If I came to you, then I want you to help me. Why exactly me? However, after giving it some thought, I decided to agree. After all, my shoulders and back got sunburned while sleeping, and searching for Shirk would let me get acquainted with unexplored locations of the camp. Okay. It's not exactly right to wander around wearing only swim trunks, so I should get changed first. 10 minutes later, I stood outside Olga's cabin, deciding where to go. Boathouse bus stop. That's literally... Oh, and we can go to someone's... Oh, that's our place. That's Olga and my cabin. Oh, we can also go to the forest. Anything else? I don't think so. Well, let's go to the boathouse. We haven't been there before. Maybe Shirk decided to pick up stones near the water. In the worst case, I'll find his corpse. But I'm sure that it won't end up that way. I was crossing the square when somebody called out to me. Wait! Alisa came up and smiled. I immediately sensed a trap. Where are you going? I'm searching for Shirk. Olga asked me to. And how is it? Exciting? She looked intently into my eyes and I turned away awkwardly. Not really. But, you know, a pioneer is missing. Surely you're not freaking out over such a minor thing. What do you mean? Only a few hours have passed. Maybe just lost track of time while having a walk. Certainly, I'd had the same idea, but I wasn't telling her that. Yes, that's true. But who knows what could have happened. Let me help you with it. What? With what? I got suspicious. With looking for Shirk. Oh, but I can do it. Oh, come on. She smiled at me, but there was something malevolent in that smile. Naturally, her smile was cute enough, but it really seemed to me like there was something behind it. I see she's got her shirt tied again. Well, if you insist. Since I could not understand what's on her mind, I had no real reason to refuse. But before we go, I have to get one thing from home. Okay, I'll wait for you. You actually serious about just standing there? Let's go. Okay. We approached Alisa's cabin. It would be just like all the other cabins, if not for the Jolly Roger on the door. By the way, Yolana is my roommate. Okay. We entered the cabin. The complete chaos inside really reminded me of my old flat. Though I thought of it as old. In general, I would imagine a girl's room differently. Snow-white sheets, walls, floor and ceiling shining, spotless. But when you consider that the two most exemplary pioneers are living here, we just stood silently for some time. And what did he need to get? Huh? Seems like I interrupted Alisa's thinking. Yeah. It's not here, actually. Wait here, I'll be back in a minute. Oh, good grief. She smiled and ran out. She seems really flaky today. I began to examine the room. I wouldn't say that there had been an explosion, it was just a decent mess. Well, at least by looking at all this mess created in one Pioneer session, I can surely say that I am not the messiest person in the world. The decoration of my apartment took years to be completed. I wasn't thinking about anything in particular, I was just looking around the room. Posters of Soviet artists, some books on the shelves, various household items. Then I realized that everything is wrong. Something will happen soon. Something bad. Why did Alisa leave me here all alone? There was something I had to discover. My gut told me that it's dangerous to stay here. I went to the door and tried to open it. Locked. Wait, how's it locked from the inside? What a surprise. How did she manage to quietly lock me in? I don't know what's on her mind, but I need to get out of here. I went to the window, opened it, and climbed out. Now I can go and take care of business. Or I chose the second option and waited. What is the reason she had me locked up? I wanted to know what was happening. Plus, I really wanted to see Alisa's face when she finds her room empty. I hid in the bushes next to the house and waited. After some time, I heard footsteps. Alisa and Olga came to the house. You'll see everything for yourself. She opened the door and went in. A few seconds later, she ran back out. You know, Alisa's face looked as if she just won the mouse catching competition, but at the last moment found out that it's not a real Olympic sport. So he just disappeared? Olga asked skeptically. I did the right thing by closing the window after myself. Oh no. You know, I understand everything. I can't pronounce that word. You and your roommate, every time the same thing. Haven't you had enough yet? But it's true. Really. One story after another. Semyon in your cabin. Semyon harassing you. Why did you keep lying? That's horrible. Alisa seemed really upset, and to my surprise was not trying to argue. On the other hand, it was funny to look at, but on one hand it was funny to look at, on the other I felt a bit sorry for that Alisa. She deserves it though. Our leader finally finished scolding her and left. Alisa was mad. She clenched her fists and trembled. Her face was flushed. It seemed to me that she was going to explode. Sat in the bushes and laughed quietly. However, I was wondering what was on her mind, and I came out of my hiding place, not afraid of being beaten. So what exactly did you want to show the leader? Me? Alisa turned and looked at me with disbelief. After a moment, surprise turned to anger. You! What about me? She calmed down a bit. I wanted to take revenge. For what? Really, what did I do to this girl to warrant revenge? You beat me in cards. What a fantastic reason. No doubt. I see. Maybe I should apologize to you? I asked sarcastically. Screw you. Went into the house, slamming the door. wasn't angry at Alisa. In the end, I'd expected her to do something like this. Anyway, I got through it without consequences. I was very lucky. Her confusion and embarrassment just made my day. Chuckling, I left Alisa's cabin, which was about to become my death trap. Damn. Alright. Bus stop, I guess. The bus stop seemed to be a fine choice. A strange thought came across me. Perhaps Shirk is in the same situation as me, so he decided to run away from this camp. Maybe by the 410 bus. It could really turn out to be true if he came here by accident too, although the chances of that were quite slim. But you never know. What if the bus would really come? However, I could hardly believe in that. Indeed, I spent a couple of minutes waiting at the bus stop, made sure that there were no signs of Shirk or anyone else there, and headed back to the camp. Somebody rushed out from behind the gates and bumped into me. The impact wasn't strong, so I just staggered. Miku stood in front of me and rubbed her bruised forehead. Oh, sorry. It's alright. It's my fault. I was going to the music club, but got lost in thought about a new song. You know, thinking up the lyrics and music, I hadn't realized how I got here. So you don't have to apologize. Her words per minute rate obviously exceeded the recognition limits of my brain. I made an attempt to retreat promptly. Sure, gotta go, you know. Oh, wait. I wanted to leave as usual without having to listen to her, but Miku grabbed my hand. Her grasp gave me the creeps as I got a clear vision of an agonizing execution by another rap session. Can you help me a little, please? Just a teensy-weensy bit? That definitely wasn't on my to-do list today. Well, I'd be glad to, but it's... Pretty please? Miku looked at me with such puppy dog eyes and my heart started to melt. She totally wasn't going to let go of my hand. What help exactly do you need? You'll accompany me. I can't manage to compose on my own. I can sing, or play. I can't do both at the same time. Even a virtuoso has her weaknesses. Well, you know, I can't really play any instrument. Never mind that. I'll show you everything. Come on, let's go. I can't help but feeling like I'm being, I don't know, distracted from trying to find Shirk. Like, what's going on? But, whatever. I'll go with her. On the other hand, I'm not losing anything. However, she dragged me along with her. Probably nothing good will come of this, but the only way to get her off me is to wrestle my hand out of hers. But that wouldn't be very nice. Nothing bad will happen after all. Probably. Within a minute, we were already standing in the music club. Miku took a guitar. Here, have a look. She sat down and started playing. I tried to follow her hands. The tune seemed quite simple. Seemed quite easy to repeat. Got it? Kind of. Let's try. I took the guitar and started playing. That didn't really work out. Let me show you one more time. Played much better than me. Looking at Miku, I wondered. Of course, she was a chatterbox. She was naive and clumsy. However, she was extremely talented in music. Try again. I managed much better the second time. Wow, that's much better. She smiled. It wasn't hard. In fact, just repeat the same notes over and over. Just don't lose track. Start on my command. Okay. Ready? Go! It was a song in Japanese. Frankly speaking, I didn't understand a single word, but Miku's singing was quite good. In fact, it was outstanding. She put her heart in every note, every word. Yeah, music probably is the very thing for her to dedicate her life to. Seemed like it wasn't her who chose the music, but the music that has chosen her. The last half an hour presented Miku in a completely different light. Oh, thank you. Did you like it? I finally managed it with you. On my own, it's not so good. I either mess up with the words or miss the strings. It's just perfect with you. Thank you so much. You really have a talent, you know? Just to play like that with any preparation? Nope. Seems I'd changed my opinion about her too hastily. Thanks for the song. Gotta go. See ya. Thanks for... The rest of her words were left behind the door. I leaned on the wall of the club cabin and sighed. Miku's song was still playing in my mind. Oh boy. Went for lunch with mixed feelings, with a sense of accomplishment and with the realization of time wasted. The canteen was crowded. I couldn't say unnoticed. Olga called me. Semyon, come with us. The camp leader, Slavia, and Elektronik were sitting at the 4-seat table. I nodded and went to get my food. This time I had to spend several minutes in the queue. Today's menu didn't really differ from the other day's menus. The dishes looked the same, at least. When I sat at the table and wished bon appetit to everyone, Olga said, "So, what are you thinking?" "About what?" "We searched for Shurik all around. It's noon and he's nowhere to be found." Took a note of the rhyme, but didn't want to point it out. We looked all over the camp. I went all around the neighboring forest. Olga looked at me, and I helped too. "We must call the police." "Maybe we should wait until the evening," I asked lazily. "Maybe he went home." "That can't be. Shurik lives thousands of miles away." "By train?" "The nearest station," she paused, "is far off." Now it was getting interesting. Every time the conversation reached the point concerning ways I could leave Savyanak, the camp resident started changing the subject. How far is far? Really far. Camp leader looked at me, indicating that with her expression that asking more questions was not advised. "So we should go deeper into the forest. Maybe he got lost." "Shurik always takes a compass," chimed in Elektronik. "I wonder what else could be found in his magic vest, assuming he has one. If I were to get lost in the forest, a compass would be of no real use." "Police. We should call the police in the evening. Not right now, at least." "Okay, so you'll do it later." They were all silent. "We should be able to find him before evening. We still have time. If he actually got lost, we have no time to lose." "We cannot be sure." "Then where is he? Where?" There's some truth in the camp leader's words. Hiding the whole day just like that is suspicious. Why would he do that? Shurik seemed to me to be quite a serious pioneer. Yolana would have been a better fit for this behavior. So there is good reason to believe that he was gone. All that can be done has already been done. We'll just have to wait. Slavia, Elektronik, and Olga looked at me sorrowfully but didn't say a word. Finished my lunch, took the tray back, and left the canteen. It's funny that I don't really care, like, what happened to him. Still the first half of the day. What now? What now indeed? We will pick that up in the next episode. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you then.